What's good, people? EoD here with another episode of Doom 2016. This time, it's a little bit special. I set up a one-on-one duel with another steamer, Salamander. Now, this didn't just sprout up out of thin air. There's a little bit of history on it. If you're active on the Steam forums, you'll probably already know, but I was getting wrecked by some laggers, and it really pissed me off. So I went onto the Doom forums on Steam to vent and started spouting all kinds of horseshit about how the game is garbage, no one should ever buy it. I was emotional, and I overreacted. It's still a really good game if everyone gets a decent connection and no one is hacking. I started going back and forth with a few regulars, and this guy was one of them, standing against my assertions that the game is crap because they won't do anything about the hackers. I started bouncing around threads, spreading my nonsense, and in one of these threads I directly challenged Salamander to an outright private match duel on equitable terms. He agreed. We finally got together the other night and had our duel, and here is the result of that encounter. Enjoy.
4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, no survivors. Blood.
Alright, that's enough of that shit. You've pretty much seen it. Just imagine that happening over and over and over again for 10 minutes. That's the match.
But how can this happen, EoD? You said you were pretty good at this game, but that looked like total shit.
Well, first of all, I just want to say, I was getting some damage in. Just not enough and not quickly enough. Why might that be? Well, let's take a look in slow-mo here and take note of some things. I'm using one weapon and its alternate, the combat shotgun. The time it takes to switch between primary and alternate firing modes seems like it's been nerfed not too terribly long ago and is agonizingly long sometimes. I've been trying to train myself not to use it in tight situations anymore, but the amount of damage it dishes out is greater than that of the primary fire. Plus, it splashes, so it's my automatic go-to when I want to put someone down as soon as possible. Salamander, on the other hand, is switching between two different weapons, the combat shotgun and the super shotgun. Up close, combat is pretty strong, but super can deal as much as 75 in one shot. Not to mention, the time it takes to switch between weapons is about half as long as it takes to switch to the combat's grenade launcher. Now, some people might consider this hacking, in a not-so-obvious non-code sort of way, but the fact is, The game is built to allow it, so how can you fault anyone for doing it? About a month ago, I saw Cloud doing this, and I thought for sure he had to have some kind of auto aimbot that didn't display on the screen, because how is it possible to strafe, run, jump, and stay on target while hitting the Q key to switch weapons? Try it. I did, and it's not. The secret is in the key mapping. Make your right mouse button the switch weapon key, and voila. It's the same physical motions you've been doing with a single weapon, except now you can double up. It still takes some getting used to, but after a few matches with bots, I think I managed to at least get the hang of it. Served me pretty well in a round of domination recently. There'll be a link to that in the description. Anyhow, on with the show. I insisted on the best of 3 rule with Salamander, and again he was accommodating. I let him choose the map, as I had chosen our first one, and Helix is what he picked. So this time I had a better idea of what I was up against, and I approached our encounters somewhat differently.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, no survivors. Blood.
Oh my god, that son of a bitch does die. You get the idea though. It's pretty much another pwn fest with me as the bait. Except I get a few back in on it. I'll sum that up with a highlight reel here in a second. I don't think there's enough attention span on YouTube for any more than 10 minutes of this shit to matter. So if you want a bitch, I'll post each match in its entirety from my perspective as separate videos. I've done nothing to obfuscate the truth here. Salamander is, or was, a better player than me. Is he still? I don't know. I just don't know. Check out that link in the description. Later.